this is Santiago. Welcome to my ASMR channel. We're here with a new video. So today I would like to talk about the movie that I just watched the other day. So my last video was about how I was gonna watch the Thunderbolts, the new Marvel movie, and I would like to talk about a very special, theme that was touched in the movie. So first of all, I would like to point out that it is my first time watching a Marvel movie where they expose a specific theme in general. So I feel like Marvel movies have followed the same pattern for many years. This pattern is the pattern of there is a superhero, there is a bad guy, superhero beats bad guy, end of story. And that's how many characters have been introduced throughout the years. That's how many characters have been brought up to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But that's just something that has become extremely repetitive. Now, if you were to ask me, this movie, The Thunderbolts, had a very specific topic, theme, a tone that they touch, and this is depression. They really exposed depression in all of their characters in many ways, many types of depression, many types of depressing situations. You know, I feel like the topic was extremely well taken care of, very well developed throughout the movie through the character of Bob. I feel like Bob was the main focus when it came to the climax of depression in the movie. But for those of you who have already seen it, uh, if you guys have seen it, you guys might, if you guys think about it, all of the characters were actually depressed and they were going through a certain thing in their lives. Like the character of Yelena, she was just not finding sense in life. Her life to her was just pointless. She didn't know what to do. The character of the Red Guardian, he was just depressed because he was missing his past. He was missing what he had before, his greatness of years ago. If you look at the character of Bucky, he feels depressed because he doesn't feel like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He doesn't like his job as much. He wants to help, but he doesn't feel like he's helping a lot. He doesn't feel like he fits. If you look at Ghost, Ghost just doesn't, she just doesn't belong anywhere until she meets the Thunderbolts. But before that, that's what her life is like. She just doesn't know where to belong, where to not disappear. And finally, John Walker, the U.S. agent, he's lost his wife and his child, and he just doesn't have anything. He's trying to redeem his name, and basically all of these characters have lost things, and I just love how Marvel brought up to life, brought to become the new Avengers, 5 randoms who might actually be the most outcast characters that have ever existed in the MCU. And I just really enjoyed that, the fact that these characters, they don't really have an epic beginning. They don't have a inspiring story, but if you think about it, their origins are just, most of them begun being secondary characters. And I just love how His character portrays serious, like real life situations. You know what I mean? Like, he was abused by his father and his mother. He was in drugs. He didn't feel like he was cared by anyone, or that he was worth the time or the attention of anyone. And I just really loved how his depression was very realistic. Like, you as an audience member, you could see yourself in the same position as Bob. And the way Marvel gave Bob, us, basically, the chance to be Sentry, which Sentry is like the superhero. The Bob can be the power of 20 million, 20,000 suns, something like that. Um, the way that Bob had all the power in the world and still he felt empty inside. He felt betrayed, and then that's when the void came out. I just felt like that was a very strong, connection to what the real world is. I feel like many times us as humans, we tend to maybe reach the top. We can, put a lot of effort into creating and accomplishing our goals. And once we have everything we want, we're still empty. That's what I felt like. That's what I felt was the same situation for Bob. I felt like Bob, out of sun, he had all this power, the power to have the world in his eyes, on their knees. He had all this greatness, and still he was not okay after, even though he had all of that. So I just think that his character, I'm gonna say the character of Bob was my favorite, because I really feel like human depression and the human nature was really exposed with his character. I think he was the character, he was the depression himself. Like, he was all this darkness that lies inside all of us as individuals. And yeah, I just love this because, I've been going through some stuff myself, and in the past video I did state that I was really not having a good time because I had tried to watch the movie 3 times that weekend, and I was gonna watch it before I went to watch it right after I recorded those 2 last ASMRs, and it was just too crazy. I was so not expecting the movie to be an emotional roller coaster. I was expecting the movie for it to be like just another random, Marvel superhero team up situation kind of thing. I was waiting for them to be another group of people like the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the Avengers, just like superheroes reuniting. But no, this movie was actually very touching. There's a very scene specific when Bob is actually facing his dark side, which, if you guys haven't watched the movie, you guys haven't seen it, you guys should watch it first so you can understand many of the things that I'm saying. But his character starts fighting his dark side, the void, and there's a moment in which, fighting the dark side, Bob is kind of winning, but his wrath is overcoming his control, his self-control. So he's just punching and hitting the void. But as he's doing that, the dark side, the energy, the void is consuming him. So when this emptiness is trying to fill Bob, is trying to consume him, the other heroes, they come to the rescue, and a lot of people have been criticizing this scene. They have been judging this scene because they say that, oh yeah, the love, the power of friendship saved them, the heroes. And no, I don't think that's the way. I think this guy is going through depression, and this is a superhero whose supporting Bob. So in this last scene, spoiler alert, when they hug, when Bob is fighting the void and the void is consuming him, they hug him. They're there for him. That's what many people. That's what many people. Maybe people need. Many people just need people to be there for them, to support them, to tell them that they can do it, so they can just let go of many things and like grow up and not grow up, but like get over certain things that hurt them. And in doing that, they can keep going. They can carry on and just stand up and keep living. So yeah, I just really like this movie. I just thought it was very fascinating the way they touched depression, mental health, and how in the end they're all a team and they're all working together, and their mental state of all of them seems to be more online. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, this review, talking about the Thunderbolts and depression. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great time. Please, I hope you guys relaxed and you guys take